What drives you? What inspires you? Let's ignite your why. Welcome back to Ignite Your Why podcast. I'm your host, Austin T. Gullett, and we're here to have genuine conversations with authentic people to help amplify their voice and figure out what ignites their why. Today, we have the one and only Branden Tatum, or simply Tatum. We last heard from Tatum in season 1, episode 5, or 1.4, Know Your Worth and Accept Yourself, which was released back in February of 2021. So it's been over 2 years since we last heard from him. So with that being said, he's been rocking with us from the beginning. Branden, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. It feels good. I like that intro because it makes me feel like the OG. I was one of the originals. So, and it's hard to believe that it's been 2 years in between that episode. But
Man, I think all the time, I'm just like, damn, time has kind of like flown by. But here we are. I remember when I first was starting this podcast and I like mentioned it to you because I was like, hey, like, would you want to be on this? And you were like, yeah, I'm down. And then it took us a while to actually get recording because our schedules never aligned back in 2021. But it's just crazy. As you said, like, it's been a long time. So what have you been up to, man? It's been 2 years. Let the people know what's been going on.
wow, in 2 years, I have relocated, changed occupations. I have added a dog to my lifestyle now. So we're running around here. Um, and it's been all for the better. I've aged 2 years, of course, like all of us. Um, but but it's been good. So yeah, I'm no longer in Cincinnati. I relocated to Illinois, where I am a work in TV news now. So I'm still in media. Took a position to kind of enhance my multimedia professional role because that is my thing. So yeah, took that. Been doing that for the actually over a year now. Yeah, it's going good. Like I said, added a dog to my lifestyle now. He's been um definitely a blessing. He's a handful though, but
Uh,
it's definitely
Trust
good.
me, you know my dog.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know my
Shout
dog.
out to Gabby. Shout
So,
out to Gabby.
but you know the whole process. Like I feel like you were there kind of when I got Gabby in a sense because I got her in December of 2020. So
Yeah,
it's like raising a child.
it really is. It really is. That part you don't understand. It's like, oh, I just want a companion, but it's so rewarding. And then, like for me, I live by myself here, so and like the schedule I work at the TV news station, it's not a lot, but it can be a lot. You know what I mean? So like
Hmm.
sometimes you just want to like, hang, now it's like I got a dog. So I can talk to my boy Champ. You might not know what the hell I be saying, but he look at me like, you good, Dad? I can
With the
cook.
head tilt,
Yeah, yeah,
the
exactly
head
what he
tilt.
do with the head. So you good at that? So yeah, that has been something that has changed in my life. And like I said, changed occupations. But I mean, it doesn't feel like a big change because I am still
Hmm.
in media, which is what I love. I feel like if I wasn't doing something in the realm of media, I probably wouldn't be happy. You know what I mean? Like I am
Yeah.
happy being in media. Like that's my element. Some people are happy with numbers and data and with whatever they're doing, that works for them. And I found my niche and it's really, in media. As long as I'm putting out content for the masses and whatever platform, like for the past few years it was radio, putting out content. Now I'm putting out content via TV, via news station. So that's um, a good feeling in itself. So that's what's been up with me. That's what's been up with me. It's definitely been
I
a transition though.
I think it's interesting because I feel like when we talked before, you always were just about like radio, radio, radio. So what was it that like inside was like, okay, like I need something different? Like, did you have that moment or was it just like, I'm going to take a leap of faith and see how this works out?
It was more so just a leap of faith because I have been like I feel like I worked my way up to radio. I mean, not saying radio is off the table. It could happen later on down the line. I
Hmm.
wouldn't fight it, but I think where I'm at now, I'm in a space where I'm comfortable with myself, but I'm constantly wanting more. You know what I mean? Like if I feel like I'm reaching the glass ceiling at some place, I got the type of mindset I'm gonna constantly, look for something to better myself. I don't ever want to be stagnant or complacent whatsoever. So if I feel like that, I'm gonna try to do what I can to figure something out so that I can get to the next level. So I feel like taking this opportunity will help get me to the next level, with whatever is next
Hmm.
down the line. Like, oh, okay, this guy Tatum from Chicago, not only can he do radio, he's also done TV as well. He's well versed in these aspects of media. So that was sort of my mindset in taking this position. And during that time when I left radio, after the pandemic, radio never fully recovered 100%. So that kind
Hmm.
of also led to it too. Like, do I put all my eggs in one basket and then just keep waiting and waiting to get taken to the next level, and waiting on the yes at this company that I put in 5 years to. So I just think it was just time. And I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned. Like, you'll know when it's time. We sort of have that, especially our generation, I feel like millennials, of like, when do you know it's time to leave a
We are
relationship?
so quick to leave. We
Yeah,
are
when you
so
know it's
quick to
time to
leave.
leave a job or time to do this, it's like you'll know. And and we have our parents, they're from a specific generation. Oh, you
Hmm.
need to stay there for a certain amount of years so you can get the perks and this and that. But it's like, Mike, y'all don't understand. Like, this is 2023. It's like times are different. We'll leave someplace in a minute. If it don't feel right, I'm out. You know what I mean?
I swear, it's funny because I had this conversation with someone before. They're like, "Your generation is just so quick to just
Yeah,
change and do something different. Like you're not afraid." Like I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of relate to you in a sense because I felt that way with Apple. Right, I wasn't there for 5 years. I was only there for 3, but I got to a point where it was just like, okay, like this isn't fulfilling me anymore.
yeah.
Like it's not as fun. Like it
That
just
what's
seems
next?
like I'm just doing it because I'm getting paid to do it. And I wanted to do something that like I enjoy and something I love. And
Exactly.
so you just kind of get to those points where it's like, all right, this ain't it anymore.
Exactly, and you know that yourself. You know what I mean? And I probably should have left for left. I left at the right time. I'm not gonna say I should have left before. I think it all happened for a reason because it
Hmm.
was it wasn't an overlap where I wasn't doing anything. It's like this position fell in place around the time it should. So as soon as this door closed, I'll walk across the hallway and open this door, to come to this position. So it all happened when it was supposed to happen. But yeah, we're the generation that can leave in a minute. You know what I mean? We, the social media generation, so like we get stuff so quick. We're fed this content. It's changing.
Hmm.
As soon as you scroll down, your page refreshes and it's new content. It's like, okay, now I gotta, and then you keep scrolling because you get acclimated to that content though. It's like, you think like, oh man, I wanted to see what that video was, but you're also like, oh well, I'll find something else. And then you scrolling through TikTok and you'd have found something else that interests you. You're going down another rabbit hole. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of mindset I have. Like, if it's not fulfilling to me, if I don't feel like I'm getting all that I should get from it, then deuces.
Peace. I'm out. No, I don't blame you there because it's like we only have one life to live, and I'm not gonna sit here and do a job that I hate for the rest of my life. And I
Yeah,
think that's kind of we were talking a little bit off camera before this, and you asked like why video now for this podcast. And I think that's the thing is like I was getting kind of complacent with just doing audio, right? It was just like, okay, like audio this, audio that, but I really wanted to take this to the next level, right? So you have to have that change, you have to adapt, and you have to do some things differently, right?
exactly,
Because I want to get to a point eventually where I want this to be my job, right? I want to be able to do this full time. I want to expand Ignite Your Wise business, and I want to be able to just kind of like work for myself. right? And I think that's the thing is like us as millennials and this younger generation is we know like we can do anything we set our minds to and we don't need to work for other people. And I think that's why you see a bunch of businesses and entrepreneurs in our generation because we're just we just go get shit. Like we just it's that
Exactly.
grind.
And I feel like, our parents' generation don't understand that. So like like our peers do versus our parents, because they're from a different time. They would rather stay on a job for umpteen amount of years, even though they don't like it, just because, it's money and it's security. But it's like, but
Hmm.
what about your mental? You know what I mean? What about like how you feel when you get off work? What about everything that comes with it? Like, yeah, this is nice, but do you really want to do this for the rest of your life? You know what I mean? Like you said, we only got one life to live. Like I got shit I want to do. And I got goals I want to meet. So if I feel like I'm here at a company for year three and I don't feel like I'm reaching those, I gotta reevaluate that. Um, and yeah, like this year, it's starting off to be a good year. Like I went out the country for the first time as
Oh
well.
snap.
Was nice. Yes, your boy was in Mexico. Yes, it was windy, yo. Yes, it was. Um, so yeah, like now I'm just coming to a point where I'm like, yeah, I need to start like doing for me and like just
Hmm.
evaluating who I give and what I give my time to. Like, because you gotta look at these jobs like a relationship. You feel me? I'm putting in this amount of years and it's benefiting you more than it's benefiting me, then shit, then to the left. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Hmm.
that's how I kind of operate. And like I said, now I think I was in a good space back then, but I'm even more in a better space. But you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm constantly striving, trying to do something next. Like I'm already looking at
Hmm.
something else. Like I've been here over a year, and I'm already trying to, do something else. But it's like, why not? Like I can do it. You know what I mean? This is 2023. You can like
It's
things are so accessible to what they were 10 years ago. Let alone like you know
mhm.
2 years ago.
I just think back to like our conversation and I think of your first episode and the title, right? I said it before. So if you haven't listened to it, make sure you go check it out. 1.4, know your worth and accept yourself, right? I think during that season back in 2021, around 2020, you're really focusing on like yourself. How do I find myself? How do I live for myself? And now you're at this point where like you're truly honing in like I want what's best for myself because I know who I am, I know what I want, and that's that growth, right? I don't
Yeah,
know if you see it, but that's that growth. Like you went from this point of like figuring it out to like all right, now I have myself figured out. What the hell do I really want to do? What's going to fulfill me? What's going to make me happy in life? And I think that's the key point is like we grow over time and things are always evolving and always changing and we never know what's going to happen tomorrow. But it's just like we have to live in the moment, right? And I think you're doing that every day. Jealous that you went out of the country. I have not done that before.
gotta add that to the list. Austin is one of the
it is
most
it is
wow,
on the bucket
so
list.
beautiful.
It is on the bucket
Like
list. I want to go to like I want to go all over the world. I like want to go on a safari tour in Africa, and I want to go do a service trip and all these other things. But we'll get there
yeah,
eventually.
it's definitely nice. It is definitely nice. Like it's one of them. If you would have told me, that I would go out the country before 30, I would be like, I mean, which it is attainable. You see it all the time. It's nothing to get
Hmm.
attached for. But I think, like even then, like when I was in that space years ago, I feel like I was so like just on the move, but kind of too much on the move in a way. We're like, okay, doing this. I got this image, on the radio, got to do this, and I got this podcast, and got to host these events. I feel like I kind of got like caught up in that persona, which, taking a step back, I was able to like reevaluate that more because,
Hmm.
and I've had, friends tell me, thank God I have some very encouraging positive, level-headed peers in my circle. Saying that because first I honestly was down. When I left Cincinnati, just because
Hmm.
I like went in there in my early 20s. Not knowing anybody. You know what I'm saying? You were one of the friendships that came out of that from being in Cincinnati, and just a variety of different other people that I met along the way. And I kind of made that my home. And then along with being on the only hip hop station at the time, and then having a podcast to interview these local artists and stuff like that. I kind of felt like not big headed, but in a way I was. Like my ego kind of got in the way, and I'm like, dang, okay. After I leave this, who am I? Because I was always either
Hmm.
Tatum from the radio or Tatum from Donut Snack Hall, or you know what I'm saying? Like you do Tatum from someplace related to media. So it definitely was a transition. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was. Just 'cause, like I said, I gave so much of my time. Like I literally grew up there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't go to
Right.
high school there, but I spent like 5 critical years there, in my early 20s, from my early 20s to
Right.
my mid 20s, you know what I mean? And that's a crucial part in a person's life. And then I'm being in a city where I've didn't expect to make an impact the way I did and meet a lot of people. So it kind of did originally, you know, make me feel like, wow, who am I? But like I said, I had some good people in my circle, like, yeah, Tatum, you were Tatum, before the radio, you know what I mean? You don't need this platform to make you feel like, you were this, like, you got your own brand. You're Tatum. So, I had like people like that in
Yeah.
my circle that helped me. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say that it was an easy transition and that I was just all, 10 out of 10 happy go lucky. You know what I mean? It definitely was an adjustment to kind of
Of course it would
get
be.
my
When you think about it,
feelings in check.
like think about it. Think about it. Like when you're look back at that time period, it's a pivotal moment in your life,
Yeah,
right? You just graduated college, you moved to Cincinnati, and you're basically starting your life, right? Because I feel like we spend so much time going to school that we don't truly find like ourselves until like you're off by yourself, right?
yeah,
So like you're in a whole new city by yourself and you are figuring life out. And I think that's the biggest thing. So of course when you're leaving, you're thinking like, oh, like I have these friends, I put all this time and effort in. And like you said, like most people know you because of a certain thing, but that's always going to be a part of you, right?
right.
It doesn't diminish anything that you did. You're closing one chapter of your story. So now it's time to move on. So like don't like I can understand why the transition is not easy because I think of any transition in life, whether like you are still in Chicago now and you leave this current job you're at and you start a new one, that is going to be a transition. You're going to have to find yourself in that community,
Yeah,
in that space, right? So it's constantly, it's life. You're going to learn, you're going to go through things, and it might not make sense in the moment and you might question why or like what's going on, but later down on in life, you're going to look back and you'll be like, oh, this makes sense.
yeah.
Like,
It
you know what I mean?
definitely like prepared me for the next chapter. Because then, even then, if you would have told me in the midst of, me doing everything in Cincinnati and, in the music scene and hosting and doing everything, I would have been like, what? I'm going to leave here in my, going on my 6th year to working, TV news. I wouldn't have, you know, expected that. But it was one of those things like, you just really got to take a step out and see. Because even when I think I mentioned it too in the podcast we did prior, um, that even then, like that was a transition. You know what I mean? When they called me to even come to Cincinnati, I was like, I'm 22, never. I don't even know what Cincinnati is on the map. Never been there before. I didn't even know Cincinnati was by the river. That's how slow I was, Austin. I didn't even know it was that close to the river. So and then
Don't do Cincinnati like that.
so
Don't
I
do
just did
Cincinnati like that.
yo.
Eh,
And then,
Tatum, it's 5-on-3 day. You can't be doing
it
that.
sure is. I've been saying that all of my time, and that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Social media kind of helps you. Like even though I'm not there, like my base, a good amount of my followers and the people I follow are from Cincinnati because that is what was a pivotal time in my life. So I'm still,
Mhm.
reminded, still see what's going on, the 513Z, so I don't feel that much disconnected. But yeah, like you said, those transitions are tough. 'Cause like I said, coming in at 22, not knowing nobody and going through, the whole just being an adult out there by yourself with like everything happens when your damn car
It's
battery dies.
scary.
You're like, dang, what do I do? My car battery died. What? On like freaking um Vine Street. I'm trying to think of the street now. It didn't really die on Vine Street though, but it died in a parking garage though. True story. And I was like, damn,
That's so
that's
funny.
embarrassing. How did my car battery die in a parking garage? But it happens.
I would be freaking out because I call my dad for everything. I'm like, this isn't normal. It says my tire pressure is low.
Right, and you like
See,
that?
this
Can
is
you come?
this
Check it out.
yeah. This is what I hate about my car though. It's like you would think I have a 2020, so like you would think it would have like these high tech features, but it's literally just says tire pressure low, and it doesn't tell me which fucking tire it is.
You go around filling up all four tires.
So you have to like use the tire pressure gauge, but then like you have to check every tire just to see like, and it's just like, well, you can't just tell me it's
Right,
the
which one?
right
Where's
front
the,
tire.
the, the
Like,
tire? Like, let me know. Come on now. It's only four of them. Just one of the four.
no, I do have a question for you because I know like we've talked about this before in the past. I feel like Takeover Tatum was huge for you, right? And I like, have you done anything with that? Do you see anything in the future? Because I feel like you have the platform to where you could start your own podcast, Take Over Tatum
Oh, you've
podcast,
been saying that.
and blow up, bro.
You've been saying that for so long.
I know you've been saying it too, but you haven't
I
like.
know
I just
I
need to
haven't
like. I
put
need to
my
know where
foot
you're
in
at with
yet.
it.
And you and probably like dozens of others have mentioned this, and I just need to go for it. And I think a part of me is still like, like I'm not all the way ready, but like I'm used to
Hmm.
having. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I'm nervous because it's like how I
You're
said before.
scared of
Like
the unknown.
yes, because like I am Tatum Takeover. I built this brand. I understand that. With this media company that I was with for 5 years. But it's just like now that I don't have that backing, a part of me is like, damn, am I still that person? Which I am. Like I said, my peers tell me that
Hmm.
all the time. You have told me that. You're telling me that right now. So I understand that. It's one of those like leap of faith I just really need to just go for because I have honestly thought about that. Like it's just like really putting my foot forward and just like one foot after the other, just go for it. Because that has it has crossed my mind, but then again, it's like,
Can I say
okay,
one thing? Right. I want you to think about what you just said.
okay,
Right. You said that you are still that person, but you don't feel like you have the backing, but you have people who are constantly telling you that you need to do this. It's not about having a big media company or a big sponsorship helping you push your platform, right? You have the network, you have the connections, you have the following, right? It's all about putting in the effort and putting in the work,
yeah,
right? I know you have that grind, you have that mentality. It's just you have to I'm going to be very blunt and honest here, but like you have to get over the fear of the unknown, right?
yeah,
You can't be
that is
scared to continue. Like you've been in this business. Like I don't know what like why are you're really holding yourself back. No one else is doing this. Like, right? You know you're capable, but you're afraid that you're not going to have the following. And it's easy to say, like it's easier said than done because I'm the same way, right? When I put out things, like it's very easy to look at other people's podcasts or anything like that and compare yourself. right? You see people and they're like, oh, like I have 10,000 downloads, I have 100,000 downloads, and I'm just like, shit, I I've been trying. But that's the thing, is it's like my journey is different than everyone else's, and it's easy to compare, but we have to like, it's, I feel like it's something that would bring happiness to you. It's something you would enjoy. It's just you can't get in your head about it. That's the biggest thing
Yeah,
about creating and doing podcasts, is it's easy to get in our heads, but when you just sit down and just be you and do what you do, that's where the joy comes from. And it's
yeah.
just it's a hobby for me, at least. It's a
I
hobby for me.
agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, it's just that initial, I guess, like how you said, that initial fear that, like, and
Hmm.
then how, it's a blessing and a curse that, we are in this technology era, where we see so much all the time, and like you can't help but to, compare yourself. Like, okay, this person is here. I remember when they were there. Now they got, this many analytics, and I'm trying, and like it is, just a lot. But like you said, each path is different, and I am getting closer to realizing that, more closer than I've ever been in my life, where it doesn't really matter, but yet it still affects me just a little bit,
Hmm.
and I think, but I think that's natural with all of us, though, because you see those studies of how, social media affects, young people's mental health, and, the links between Instagram and depression and insecurity, so like it's, unfortunately, it shouldn't be a thing, but it is. But I'm trying to minimize that as much as possible. And yeah, I think having a podcast really would fulfill me, because as you can see, I like to talk. I like to be as
Trust
animated.
me, I know. And you should have seen him before we even started recording. He's over here like checking his hair, making sure he looks
This gonna
good.
be on the
He
web
put
forever. You know what I'm saying?
he put on cologne, y'all. Like y'all could
Right?
smell it.
Who the hell gonna smell me other than Champ? And he don't even want to smell me. He's sitting outside on the deck, like, it's too much he put on, dog.
All right, hold on just for a second. I forgot to plug my phone in, so I'm gonna plug that in real quick.
Okay, you know.
Hold on. It won't take too long. Oh snap! Now I gotta adjust.
You know,
This is gonna be bad.
AirPods be so loud. Do your AirPods be slipping out
Oh,
your ear?
oh yeah, that's why I don't wear them anymore.
Well, I probably should have put these on, man. Yeah, because these,
I
I don't know if my
I
ear
feel
be
like
slipping or what.
if you go back and watch the like first few episodes of season 5, I had AirPods in and I would constantly like be touching
I'm
them
like,
and messing with
yeah,
them.
like, dang it.
I do apologize for taking that little break, but like
I
my
know you're
phone,
good.
like,
You're good.
cause like I have it set up and it said like, oh, your phone's on 15%. And I was like, I know I first forgetting something, but I was sitting here waiting for you this whole time and I just didn't
You're
even think
good. You're
about it.
good. You're good. Mr. Ignite Your Why. You all good. I'm on your
Whew.
time.
See it now, I'm sweating. Nah, so the last time we talked, you mentioned how radio was your passion, and doing things for your family and your loved ones. So I kind of want to re-ask this question: Is what is it now that inspires you? But more importantly, what ignites your why?
um, that is. It was a good question then, and it's still a good question now. God damn it. What ignites my why? What are my passions? I would definitely say media. Like, the realm of media I'm in, TV news. I wouldn't expect me to, like, wouldn't have expected to be in this space so soon. I wanted to kind of transition to TV. I didn't know when that would happen, but like I said,
Hmm.
it happened when it happened. Everything fell into place. Um, I think now I'm just in a place where what gets me going is just the fact that I just want more. Like, I'm just wanting more out of, my career, out of just how I how I go about things. You know what I mean? And sounds cheesy, but he's also part of my Ignite Your Why. Because I was in a space where I was working here at the TV news station, but I wasn't like I was good like from the time I
Hmm.
was there, but then when I got home, I feel like okay, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like it's like my social aspect of life wasn't where it was. And coming from where I hate to keep bringing this up, but in Cincinnati, where like I feel like my social level was just 10 out of 10 because I was constantly doing something. I was constantly going out.
Hmm.
Hey, you wanna either you like, hey, you wanna go to the banks? You wanna just just hey, let's just go to the banks and just get drunk. Let's go to Condados. Okay, sure. Like I got nothing else to do. Why not? So I think that kind of changed too. Like
Hmm.
my social activity level has gone down, but not down in like a bad way. Like it has allowed me to like have more clarity in my head of like what I wanted to do and what's next for me.
I think it's crazy because I think back of like when I would go out all the time and drink every weekend. And I was like, I can't do that anymore. I literally cannot do it anymore. And I think it's different now because I can kind of relate to you because I moved out. I no longer live with my old roommate. So it's been a shift. It's been different just trying to adjust to like kind of being on your own in a sense.
Yeah,
It's just completely different, and you just come home and you're just like, oh my gosh, like
right. I
what
really
the
by
hell do
myself.
I do?
Yeah, yeah. It's
what
different.
do I do?
It definitely is. It was like wow. I had just it was just in a different space. But I mean, not saying that it's bad, but I think it one of them things that you are supposed to go through. You know what I mean? Like you gotta
Hmm.
experience that and like go through this, on your own. And it really does give you a peace of mind. And now I'm with you too, because I can't do that shit I used to do back then either. Okay? It definitely can't do that like
It
that no
gets
more.
you.
Yeah, I'm too
I
old for
like
that.
I see like old like Snapchats sometimes of like
Ah,
of
ah.
when like we were hanging out and just like, oh, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
remember one night we literally just had like 4 bottles of wine.
You don't want to put me on to that Oliver wine. To this day, I still love me some Oliver wine. And I mean, go to this
Sweet
day. Yeah, yeah,
sweet
I love
red
that wine.
Oliver's
That wine is
wine.
good. And like,
Hey,
it's good
and
and
it's cheap.
it's
It
good
is
and it's
cheap.
cheap. And the alcohol percentage is up there, so it gets you feeling a little bubbly. You know what I mean? Like it. Look. Oh my, give me something tonight.
Hey.
Now that you mentioned it. You know what
You're
I
welcome.
am, because that is going to be the perfect way to sort of celebrate my episode right now, because it's been 2 years since I was on it, and we had wine there before. So that's what I'm going to do. Good Oliver wine. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to make a toast to you too when I do it.
I do got a question. I do got a question. Do you live close to a White Castle?
You know what? You know motherfucking what, Austin. That's how I know you're a real one. Because you know my love. I'm talking about Loveee. You know my love for the
Oh.
good old WC. Unfortunately, I don't. And it hurts me. It really does hurt my soul. Like they got every fucking damn restaurant here, but not no damn White Castle. Oh my god, I can go for a slider right now. Oh my god. Why you give it oh wow. Wow. I wish I did though, but no, no.
No, because I just remember like every time we would go out, we would always go to White Castle. Or like we
No,
would be sitting here
no,
playing games at the house and you'd be like, I'm hungry. Let's go to White Castle.
no, no. Like, damn, Tatum again with them gas burgers. Yup. I want to do it. I sure do. Well, I wish I did. You know what's funny? I knew where almost every White Castle was in that city, in that
That's
area,
sad.
because no matter where I was, even by you, I knew where the White Castle was and coming to like I scoped it out. If I was in one area handling business, when I can go to the eye doctor, I knew what's one over here by Cold Rain, this closest one. I knew it. I didn't even have to put my GPS in. I was like the White Castle directory. So yeah, but no, I got
maybe
some White
maybe you should
Castle.
just work for White Castle
For
and get
real
free White
though.
Castle.
Just like how a
Maybe
boy did Subway,
hey,
I need to do how like they did White Castle.
a sponsorship.
Look, ooh wee, that would be good.
Because I see your TikToks. You
That
just
would
gotta
be good.
start talking about White Castle, and then maybe they
Just,
can.
just, just keep tagging them, and eventually they're gonna be like, okay, this boy loves White Castle. Let's just throw him free burgers for the rest of his life. Well, that would be good too. Love me some damn White Castle.
Oh, every time I drive by White Castle, I like think of you because I just I've never met someone who just loves it as much as
I
you
know that
do.
I don't even gotta be drunk. I eat it sober. Most people eat it when they drunk. It's like, no, that's also look, look, and it was one right by my the radio station down there. Oh, them people knew me for real. Like it was really right down. They
You
knew me.
probably didn't even have to like give your order. They were like,
Nah, they
"Oh, we
already
already
knew. You
know."
want two double cheese, no pickles? Yep, exactly what I want. And add that little donut too. And matter of fact, give me that strawberry banana shake. And some onion rings.
um, you got my cheeks
When the
hurting.
last time you had White Castle?
Oh, when was the last time I had White Castle? I had it the other like a few weeks ago for lunch at work.
A few weeks ago? That's too long. I still gotta get you some White Castle, man.
I like it's just like one of those things where like you just have to like be in the for me for me, I should clarify. You just have to be in the mood for it.
When did you should always be in the mood for the White Castle. Okay, okay. If I get wine in honor of you, can you get White Castle tonight in honor of me?
I got you.
Okay.
But you have to send a picture of the wine before I go get the White Castle.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that. Let's believe that. You ain't saying
And then
nothing. Just some alcohol.
I will I will post it on Instagram on the story to let people know. That's
Okay.
that's real love right
That
there.
really
That's real
is
love.
right there. Okay, let's make that happen. I'm gonna be checking too.
As you throw it to
Like,
me.
like, what the hell is going on back there?
No, but man, we just got so off track. But
Yeah.
my last question for you, you know me, and you know how big I am on mental health.
Yes.
I'm a huge advocate for it. I'm very open with how I'm feeling all the time. I wouldn't say all the time, but most of the time. So, how have you been taking care of yourself mentally over the last 2 years?
Um, that's a good question. How have I been taking care of my mental health? Okay, I don't want to be corny and always divert it to the dog and be like that type of dog that was like, bro, shut up. Okay, you got a dog like everybody else. But like, it really has because like, there's been times like, for example, if I didn't have him, like, I would just be like in here
Hmm.
watching TV, watching true crime, and being paranoid that somebody's gonna come kill me because. But I
What's
like
behind
true
you?
crime. No, I'm kidding. But like, having him, like, I'm like, it has kind of have I have more of a purpose. Like, okay, I have to get out, go outside, and go for a walk. And even though,
Hmm.
if he wasn't in my life, I probably would not go outside. Like especially on the weekend when I don't have nothing to do. Like, but I have to go outside. I got to take him for a walk. And it's good. Get some fresh air. Like it's nice as hell. Like, yeah, why would you want to go outside? But I think that comes from my little transition from being in this new role, and it's like we talked about, just adjusting and just getting used to those things. Um, so yeah, getting him has helped my mental. I know that I one thing I do want to improve on though, which I'm working on, is like my balance when it comes to like my friends and like just balancing that out. I feel like I don't do a good job at that. I think it's like I'm so focused on, my career and getting to the next level and just, kind of focusing on that and then like doing stuff for me in a way, like, oh, I get to
Hmm.
do this, make this happen, and all this and that. And I kind of get wrapped up into that. Then next thing your weekend is over, and then you start work again, and then same cycle happens, and then it's like, dang, I didn't even call or text you back, or I wanted to hang out, So I think
Yeah.
that's the next step of kind of making me feel better mentally. Um, would kind of help me out at. But I've also been doing CrossFit. Oh, damn, how can I forget that? How can I forget that? That has also changed my life. Like, when I first got here, I was sad. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be Michael B. Jordan and Creed. I'm gonna get it, rah, rah, rah. Have me a personal trainer. That didn't work out, but I seen and heard about CrossFit. And I ain't gonna lie, some of
Hmm.
the things I seen was negative, but I'm the type like, okay, like if somebody say they don't rock with you, then I want to be the judge of that. So let me see how it is for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do with CrossFit, and I've been doing it for over a year, and I feel amazing. I go every day, Monday through Friday.
Sheesh.
It is like I've done things that I didn't think that I could do physically and mentally because it really is like all in your head of like what you can and
Yep.
cannot do. Like it's far like I've never deadlifted before in my life until March of last year. You know what I mean? I was never the kid, I know you can't relate because you've been an All American athlete your whole life. You know what I'm saying? But I was never an All American athlete. I was the kid that's like, I want to join student government. You know what I mean? Like, what is
Hey,
the
I was
theme
in
for
student
fall gonna
government.
be? Are we gonna do fishbowl theme or Mardi Gras? I was like that type of kid. Like, was never on the sports athletic tip, but you
I was on
know,
both though. I did both of those things.
and you All American athlete.
I played sports and I was that person where I was in student
You got the
government.
best of both worlds. I
And
was just one side of it. I'm on a damn debate club and shit like that. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Which is good. We're not knocking that, but yeah. So now that I've done that, that has really I'm going back to what you said. What has helped me, my mental health and my stress and just maintaining. That really has. I don't know how I forgot that,
mhm,
but that really has. And like I found a good gym. It's a great group of athletes, a great group of people. They do different like outings and things like that, like little Memorial Day barbecues. Like it really is like a solid group of people there, and I really feel welcomed. Like I said, I've been going there for over a year, and I love it. Like I said, I've done things that I didn't think I could. I'd have transformed my body in a way that I'm like, oh damn, who is that walking past the mirror? You know what I mean? Like, like it's amazing. But that has really, really helped me. Um, and like I said, it's something about like when you look at something, you like, damn, I don't know about that, or I've never done that before.
mhm,
You naturally just get hesitant because you've never done it before. You know what I mean? But once you get, in the rhythm of it and get in the routine, it's like you go for it. Like now, if I skip a day, like if I'm on out of town, like I'm in Mexico, you know what I mean, and like coming back, it felt like okay, this is what I needed. You know what I mean? If I miss a day
mhm.
or something like that, you feel it because like I have done it. Like my body and my mind is really used to CrossFit now and these exercises, these movements. So that has really, on top of anything, has really like changed me for the best. Because like I said, I wasn't no athlete, so a lot of the movements was like, yo, what the hell? You got to squat lower than that, Tatum. You gotta put your knees out and do this and art. Like it's so much like specific movement and like technique that
Hmm.
you got to do to it, and that my body has never done. I'm sure you have from your sports back in the day.
Don't give me all those props.
Um, but for
Don't say
me,
back in the day like I'm super old. You older than me.
I know you did say back in the day like you're like about 20 years old. But like that has really changed, and it's just so cool. And like even like the coaches are so amazing. Like, oh yeah, see the progression. You came a long way. When you first came, you weren't able to do this, and
Hmm.
squat and turn and adjust and lift and all that. So yeah, it is amazing. I encourage people to really really like find that, like, because that for me is what I would say. Shit, it really did save me. Yeah, because that has got me like just active and out. Like I'm eating better. Like taking protein now. Like who the fuck? Like who am I? The Rock? What? Why am I taking protein? Never thought I'd be taking protein. I never understood the science behind it. But now that I'm working out, I understand it, and I'm like, I'm not
Hmm.
counting my calories now, but I kind of am. It's more like counting my protein, but like I just I like put my food in, and it like it counts the calories and the protein and the carbs and stuff like that. So I like keep track of that. And I'm not like super anal about it though. Like on the weekends I don't put it in, but Monday through Friday I do, put that in on the weekends.
I mean, you just mouth watered over White Castle, so obviously.
Yeah, you never know, and then you gotta treat yourself to WC.
No, I give you props though. I give you props. I think that's the biggest thing about working out is just being consistent. Um, I feel I look back on my life and I'm like, oh wow, like when I was consistently doing something, I was in shape, and now I'm like, okay, I need to get back to that.
it's
So,
like not only does you feel good mentally, but like your mind really does feel
mhm.
good. Like there's been times when I didn't go to CrossFit in the morning and I went to work and I wanted to like punch somebody next face. They'd be like,
See, I can't like I like struggle where I struggle with working out is like I've tried doing it in the morning, but I just don't get enough sleep to where like I'm just like,
mm,
all right. And then after work, I either like have soccer practice or like something else, and
but
I'm just
then
like
you're active
exhausted.
though. Still soccer practice. You're active,
I'm coaching. I'm coaching soccer. I don't play.
but you still gotta show them the movements though. So that's
But
still.
it's not like but it's not a continuous like workout. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Where it's like if I'm at soccer practice for 2 hours, I'm more so like standing back, observing, watching,
right.
constantly thinking of like tactics. How are we gonna do this? What are we doing next? And it's just there's a lot that goes into coaching. So it is very time consuming. So I just
Yeah.
gotta be better at it. That's my thing. I just gotta be better at it, and I need to quit making excuses and just get the shit done. So.
Once you get that going, and it is at least for me, it was tough. Like when I first got into it, it's like I wanted to go, but then it was some telling me like, damn, this workout's gonna be too long and stuff like that. But I
Hmm.
did listen to that voice in my head, and I went. And now it's like I'm conditioned. Like, okay, I have to go every day. Boom, boom, boom. This is gonna make a
Hmm.
difference. I got like body goals now. You feel me? Like, okay. Like, but you
Just
should have
trying to
seen me in
be
Mexico. I was really
super
flaking.
buff.
Like, I had the shirt unbuttoned. You know what I mean? I was really like, look,
He was a brand new
look,
man,
look,
whole new
look.
man.
I was ready. I was ready. So yeah, that has been something that I found here that has really taken me to the next level when it comes to mental health and physical health. Because like I said, like I haven't done
I
it
think those go hand
for
in hand sometimes,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Physical health and mental health, those can kind of go hand in hand, but
exactly.
you definitely have to make sure you're focusing on your mental. And I'm glad that you have found those things that make you sane and make you feel kind of at peace, at comfort. Um, I know for me, like I always go to therapy. My dog does help me, even though she's annoying as hell sometimes.
Yeah, they can be, but they're so rewarding though. They really do. I feel like they really do understand you, and like it. At least for
Hmm.
Champ, it didn't take him long to get. adjusted to my routine, and like now we understand each other. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that's how it is with you and Gabby. Like y'all
Does
understand each other.
does your dog follow you everywhere you go?
Yes. What is privacy? I
Like
don't have no privacy no more. No
at
privacy.
all, bro. At
Like,
all. Gabby has to be by me at all times. Like literally at all times. It's kind of annoying. I'm like, give me some space. Move.
but see, I also like, I don't. Like it makes me. I mean, it is annoying. Like when he was younger, he's 10 months now. But when he was younger, like I used to like used to get in the shower. Like I don't get in the shower no more. But when I used to take a shower, he used to be like right at the floor. Like so when I come out, and then he would just look up, and then he would walk like, all right, just making sure you're good. I'm like, bro, I'm taking a shower. Like I can't take you. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I can go to the restroom and like I'll lock Gabby out and it's like the cutest little thing. Like you'll see her little paw like under the door.
Oh, got it, Paul.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no, but man, I just really wanted to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. It's been great to catch up because I feel like this has just been a conversation. Like I haven't talked to you in so long, like in person or on the phone. Like we've texted here and there, but it's been nice to just catch
Yes,
up and
yes.
see what you've been up to and how your job's been going and all of that. Um, if anyone wants to continue having a conversation with you about anything that we've talked about today, what is the best way for these folks to get a hold of you?
The best way to hit me up is online, baby. No, I'm playing. Hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, AOL
R.I.P.
Messenger. No, I'm
MySpace.
just playing. But literally everything is Tatum Tatum. So that's TakelTatum. All that right there, because you know Tatum is taking over. So be sure to lock in with me. And big shout out to you, Austin. Like I am just so proud of you that you have just really had the discipline and the drive to take Ignite Your Why to where it is. Like I legit remember you telling me about this and me getting so excited about it, you know, that you were starting it and you know, and just the process it took to get to where you are now. And I remember being in your living room recording the first one that we did, you know what I mean? And just seeing how far it's come like this, that is just so amazing. So I am just proud of
Thank
you,
you, thank you, thank
and
you.
we wish nothing but the best for you because it's only up from here. We ain't going nowhere but up. We just
Yes, sir.
uh,
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And I think it's funny because, like, as I'm talking to you, Aaliyah's texting me and she's like, take your phone off, do not disturb.
oh Leah.
No, but I think back to like when we first recorded and how much I've grown, honestly. I feel like before it was very interviewy-ish. Like it wasn't really a conversation. I felt like it was more so like I would ask a question and just sit back and listen. And now I feel like I have a better control of initiating conversations and holding those conversations and not being afraid to interrupt people because I think that was like before is like I was always so afraid to like interject when I had something to say
Mhm.
where I'd like try to remember it in my head. But enough about me. I do appreciate the kind words. I do.
It
I
definitely
really
is
do.
something, and you know, and I get it because you know when I was there and doing everything I was doing with interviews and you know coming across different uh artists and this stuff like that. Yeah, it definitely does take some time, but like you got it. You know, you've always had it in you. So you know, this is lit.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I'm just happy to see the growth and happy to see where you go next. And thank you for even allowing me to be on here because you know you could have just chose anybody. You could have chose Tatum and not Tatum, but you chose me. That was really corny. You might need to edit that out. That was some corny ass shit. All right, let me get comfortable. I'm getting corny
Nope.
about a second. All right.
We have authentic conversations. That is it, and we're gonna keep it. No, but I do appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone for listening and watching in. Aaliyah is blowing my phone
She
up right
really
now.
is.
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie to you.
She said,
Like,
notify anyway. Bank.
I know she really is, and I'm gonna tell her like I am recording. She's like, "What if I'm dying?" Luckily, I'm
No, when
not.
you get
Like,
tired, you do that after I get done recording. Damn.
and then she's like, "Oh, sorry." We could definitely take all this out. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm going to put all of Tatum's information in the description below. If you guys happen to reach out for him, please let him know how you found him. Thank you all for listening in or watching. Make sure you guys give us a follow on all social media platforms at Ignite Your Why. That is Ignite, INGYTE. That includes YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of it, everything, TikTok, all of it's Ignite Your Why. So make sure you give us a follow. And thank you guys for listening in. And always remember, find your purpose and ignite your why. Peace.
Nice, nice. I love it.
Woo.